did you realise that there are things that we do every day, but we don't actually maybe need to? And there are also things that we don't do every day that we definitely should be doing. Like, what's going on with that? Today I'm going to be uncovering what I think we should and shouldn't be doing every day. This is kind of going to be like a little series. I've got what we should be doing every day, probably. What we should be doing every week, probably again. Once a month, every 6 months, and then I was going to do a year one as well, but I haven't quite gotten around to that yet. So this is my things you should be doing, probably should be doing. Hi guys, I am Dawn, I'm a doctor, and I have a podcast. It's called Backseat Positivity. You're literally listening to it. And I discuss all things positive, wellness, health, self-improvement, and did I say positivity? I mean, that one kind of makes sense though, doesn't it? It's called Backseat Positivity. I'm on a bit of a roll right now. I'm on my 3rd episode of the day. I've just been going back to back, half an hour, next one. I had a quick little snacky break, knocked over a whole thing of water, had to sort that out, and opened a Twitter account for the podcast. If you want to go follow it, it is it's called Backseat Positivity Podcast. Just that's the name, but also at Backseat Positive with no E, no positivity. It's just positive because I ran out of characters. That's the amount of characters you can have. So 3rd ep of the day. I'm flying. I might even do 4. Like, woo! This is such a productive day, and I'm usually very unproductive. So I'm feeling pretty fucking smashing life today. So now, obviously, this is not a complete manual for life. Like, you can make your own decisions, but I have things that I think that you should be, or I should definitely be doing every day, or probably. Do I do them every day? No, because we're all fucking human, and things get in the way, and we knock water over, and we get hungry, and I don't know, you fall down the stairs or something like that. Things happen and it's not always possible, or we forget, or there's too much to do, or we're out. The list could go on forever. So I don't need to, continue, but this is my list. I think at number 1, we're not getting any specific order. Actually, I might leave number 1 to last. Ooh, tempting. I think, right, come on, let's start with this one. Okay. This is probably something that nobody does every day, but I think we should be doing every day. For sure. Like, why are we not doing it? Sit in silence or do nothing. Like, literally, for 5 minutes. This might be in the form of meditation or mindfulness. You don't have to, though. I think we should try and stop ourselves from doing stuff all the time. I mean, I am guilty of it. I have done something for every second of today that I've been awake. And I'm trying to get over that. But I've been doing mindfulness in the evenings, like right before I go to bed. And it's been real great, I do the sleep ones, and that's been really good for me. I need to do it every day. I should be doing it every day, and maybe you should be too, because I think we can constantly be thinking about something, and then I've had burnout before, for sure. I've done an episode on it as well, and basically it's because my mind cannot stop. I literally can't stop it. I'm like that is literally what my mind feels like sometimes. It's like a galloping horse, maybe a cantering horse, or galloping sometimes. It's like just constant, like, and it's like that kind of rhythm, and it's like constantly going. But recently I've taken a step back from doing all the stuff I was doing. I was running like a couple of businesses. That sounds like, just a couple of businesses. Or like I was just spreading myself too thinly. Like I was running my plant business on Etsy, and that was really stressing me out. So I put that on holiday mode. It's still there, obviously, but I just couldn't handle it anymore for a second. I cut back on how many YouTube videos I was making myself do. I cut back on other stuff. I don't know. Just like I was going to loads of acting classes. I was doing so fucking much, and it was overwhelming, and I couldn't stop thinking. So now I have times where I just don't do anything, and I quite like it. You just look out the window It's not like you don't do anything, you just like stop existing. It's like you look out the window, just watch nature out the window, or it's like times where you're not trying to do something productive. That is the difference. I feel like often we're like trying to do something productive. It's like, okay, I'm lying in bed and I wrote this last night. This is my podcast plan. I wrote several of them, in fact. I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. 7 of them. That's a lot, but I also had been thinking about them for a while. So, yep, 7. So I don't know if I'm going to get 7 episodes done today. That's pretty fucking wild. The thing is, once I started doing shorter podcast episodes, I used to do like an hour and I was like, God, this is exhausting. But now I'm doing like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's like much better, I think. That's my personal opinion anyway, for me. And also, I don't know, sometimes an hour episode is good, you know, but also depends what you're up to. I do have some hour episodes. In fact, my longest one is an hour and 20 minutes. That was about, I think, my time when I worked abroad as a professional party animal. So I would classify, I've actually put those as 2 separate things. Not do anything / sit in silence as one thing, and then meditation and mindfulness. Because I would argue, to be honest though, that not doing anything / sitting in silence is mindfulness. Like, you're kind of just observing the world around you. We should be doing that every day. Like, we shouldn't get to the end of the day, I would say. I hate using should, but it's just the easiest word to use. Like, I don't want you to think, go away from this and feel shit. Like, I am not doing all of these things that Dawn said I should do. But it's easier than me saying we could. Like, no, I think we should be striving to be should doing them. But it's also like, it's flexible. No one's forcing you. You live your life, and this is just my recommendation, or like the way I like to think about things. I feel like urinating and drinking water, always up there. You should be doing that every day. Like, come on. I don't feel like I needed to mention that one, but I put it in there because it came into my head. I actually question whether you need to eat every day. That is something I was like, Then I created a list of things you don't need to do every day, because I think there are things that people think they do need to do, and I don't think they do. And drinking water is not on there. Eating, I've put a question mark next to, because I was like, do we need to eat every day? Like, some people are doing this intermittent fasting thing. Intermittent fasting, that was so fucking British. Intermittent fasting, and it's like, maybe that's okay. You know, that's how we lived as tribes, men and women and children, you know, tribes people, cavemen. We would forage, and we probably would eat every day, but not the same amount of calories, you know, not 2,000 a day. Or we would, you know, some people are doing that 500 calorie thing in one day, where they eat 500 calories and then eat normally on the other days, and you just have 2 days where you eat under 500. Difficult, lemon difficult. So I would question. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think we need to eat every day? I don't want to encourage people not to eat, though. Like, I think the only times you would not be eating every day is if you're doing, like, an intermittent fasting kind of thing. Not, like, to starve yourself. That's not what I'm trying to advocate here. I'm not like, you should not be eating every day so that you should lose weight. No, I'm saying, like, for your metabolism and stuff like that. Also, just general necessity. Like, do we actually need to? In fact, no, we don't, because I've seen people on the wards. Yes, they're sick and they're not moving, to be fair, but we literally don't give them food. Not as a punishment, but we do give them like IV fluids though. But if they've got like a ruptured stomach or something, like an ulcer, they don't, nothing. I'm not even sure they drink water. Like, we literally give them everything IV. Oh, fuck's sake. That happened in the last episode too. I thought, usually I mute my laptop, and I obviously just unmuted it and forgot. So there we go. I have an app thing on my phone. I have an iPhone, I don't know, I've forgotten the number now. iPhone, I don't think it matters. I've got an iPhone. And basically, on my home screen, like literally this screen, it's got my doggy on it. It changes, but it's got my doggy on it at the moment. On the home screen, is that what you'd call it? Like the lock screen, sorry. On the lock screen, there's a... Oh, that was weird. I heard some weird noise. on the lock screen, there's a way to get your calendar up for the next day. Now, I use iCal. Oh no, I need to stop saying hashtag. Stop it, Dawn. I use iCal, okay? And I just find that the easiest. It's simple. I don't need any fucking frills. I don't need anything exciting. I just need someone to remind me what I'm doing, i.e. my phone. And on my phone right now, I'm going to Edinburgh tomorrow. Edinburgh. Oh my God, what's going on? Edinburgh. I'm going to Scotland tomorrow, and I'm not sure what that was. And basically, on my calendar, I have I've put it on the lock screen, and it tells me what I'm doing tomorrow. Tomorrow is flight to Edinburgh. And sometimes it will say you don't have anything in. Now, sometimes, I don't work or whatever. I don't put I need to podcast in my calendar. I put only things that I'm going to forget in my calendar, like appointments and meetings. Anyway, my point is, I put that there so that I would check my calendar for the next day every day, because I forget, and then I'm like, oh shit, I've got this on tomorrow, and I just didn't realise. So that is a way of me checking my calendar the day before. It's honestly game changing. I used to forget everything. I used to get to the point where it would be the thing that I'd forgotten, and I'd be like, fuck. I just don't actively go out of my way to look at my calendar. Some people do. Whether you need it at the side of your bed or something like that. Ooh, emo. My fringe just came down and now I look like an emo. So I think you should every day be looking at your calendar for tomorrow. Isn't that just fucking life advice? And if you can get that on your phone where I've been sitting here for so long it kind of hurts now. If you can get that on your phone, on your lock screen, or on your home screen, whatever, somewhere where you're going to look at it every day. Maybe you've got a paper calendar or a paper planner and you just have it open somewhere that you're going to look at, because I had a paper planner and I just forgot about it. And it was like, okay, well, this is fucking pointless, isn't it? So I need something that's going to literally go, Dawn, you have an appointment tomorrow, bitch. Don't forget. So I need it to actually remind me. And often for really important things, I set 2 alarms. One a couple of days before and then one the day before. So yeah, that's how honestly, my mind's all over the place, so I just forget shit. Okay, this one's a bit of a random one. I'm not sure everyone does do this every day. In fact, no, I am definitely sure everyone does this every day. But I have noticed an accumulation of things in my possession. And does anybody understand the quote, possession is 9/10 of the law? Because I don't, and I don't know what it means. I just wanted to throw that in there. If anybody knows, let me know. Because is that my weird thought? It wasn't going to be, but it is now. What does that even mean? What is the 10%? What? So if I hold something, does that mean it's mine? Anyway, I would argue that every day, if you're one of these people that wants to be a bit more minimalist, I would argue that every day we should be throwing something away. Whether that's donating it, whether that's recycling it, whether that's giving it to somebody that you know, I don't care. Throw it in the bin, whatever you want to do, but that's what I do, and it's amazing. I used to try and do 3 every day. Now it's I just aim for 1. So it's okay, I have a cardboard box sitting over there. Why is that even there? And it's if you just keep on top of things and throw one little thing away every day, I shred things. I have a shredder. That's how cool I am. I have a shredder. I don't need to go into my shredder story. I have a shredder. That's how you know you're adulting. You have a shredder in your house. I love it because I feel like I can hold confidential documents with confidence. Please come knocking. No, I'm joking. But, I can do my bills. I am the kind of person who shreds her bills. Yes. And it's one of those shredders that you will never put it back together because it shreds it 2 directional. It shreds it lengthways and crossways. So good luck. You'll be there a long time. So I would also say that we should be doing a quick tidy of a small area of the house. Not a fucking big overhaul. Not a 60-minute makeover. Okay, one of my cables has fallen on the floor. I'm going to just wrap it up and put it back there, and I'm going to tidy my desk. a small 1 square meter section of the house, clean it every day. And then you're just laughing. You live, laugh, loving. Is that the quote? You're love, live, laughing. You're laughing, live, loving. Live, love, laugh. That's what you're doing. You're having a great time. You're like, I'm tidy. And that's all you need in life, is tidy surroundings, tidy mind. So do a little tidy. And often I'll go around and I'll just like trim leaves, dead leaves off my houseplants. That's a good one too. Trimming the dead leaves. Okay. I need to close down my emails because they keep popping up and it's really distracting me. Quit. Oh, let's talk about emails. That was a fucking great segue, because emails is on here. I do check my emails every day, because if I don't, I have like many email addresses, way too many. If I don't, they get severely overwhelming. And another habit I've gotten into is if I read an email and it needs following up, I tried flagging them. No, forgotten about forever. What I do now is I unread them. And I do that for WhatsApp messages as well. If I need to reply and I know that I'm going to forget and it just get bump and it will be gone, I now unread everything so that I get annoyed and I'm like, right, I have to reply to that now. Or I know that it needs, something doing with it. And that's how I live my life, on the edge. It's great. Honestly, I have picked up some really good habits, and that is one of them, because I used to just forget to reply to stuff. I used to forget to reply to stuff, and it was annoying. So often, I'll go through and clear my emails every day. I actually open my emails more than once a day. It's kind of tragic, but no one's admitting to that. I also unsubscribe from everything that I no longer need. And sometimes they don't get the hint, and you're like, for fuck's sake, I've unsubscribed to you like twice. Block them. Just block them. I have so many emails that I'm like, I don't want your emails in my box. Get out. So I do get some spam. I just block all of those, obviously, and move it to my junk. But also, I'm going to get into the habit now of just blocking certain places that I'm never going to buy from, right? But they have my email. I don't know how, but, at some point I've signed up to their emailing list and I've clicked unsubscribe, but they don't fucking listen. So they're getting blacklisted, all right? And I don't give a shit, because my email inbox is precious. And I can't be, that swiping. It's getting tiring. Delete, read, unread. Anyway, what else have we got? Moisturize. I moisturize twice a day. Wow. Plot twist. Yes, I moisturize twice a day. I moisturize, it's kind of obvious, I moisturize in the morning and in the evening. And I wash my face before I moisturise, both times actually. But the evening one, I do a bit more of a thorough cleanse with some cleansing water, micellar. I don't really know what that means, but apparently it does stuff. And another thing on my list is wear SPF. You should be. If you're leaving the house, I haven't left the house today. Do you know what? Leaving the house was going to make it on the list. It's not there. It is absolutely not there. You do not need to leave the house every day, my friends. The times that you don't need to leave the house are, number one, when it's pissing it down with rain, which it currently is. And it was so dark outside. I was like, is it even daytime? And do you know what? One of my favourite things to do is watch people drive home at rush hour. Because I'm like, oh God, I am not you. I'm having a good time. I'm sitting at home podcasting, essentially working from home, although I don't make any money from it, lol. 69p a week, a month. And that's not me being bitter. I'm just, this isn't really work, is it? Because, well, it kind of is, but like not paid. Unpaid work. Let's just call it volunteering. And yeah, I watch them. There's a fucking busy road right outside my house. I don't watch them. I don't sit there and revel. But if I'm putting out the bins or something, I take a moment to appreciate how grateful I feel that I'm not in that traffic jam. I'm like, oh my Lord, rip you. Because there's always a massive traffic jam on the road that I live on. And I'm like, ugh. The other day I went out. It was awful. I went outside and I went into a traffic jam. Now I'm like, no, Dawn, you need to avoid them. You need to avoid the traffic jams, because the traffic jams in Bristol are awful. If I can, avoid. Why would you do anything otherwise? So The other day I went to the gym. My class was at like rush hour. It was at like 5:45 in the evening, obviously. I would not be getting up that early for a gym class. So it was at 5:45 in the evening, and I was like, if I try and get there for 5:45, oh dear Lord, rip me. I will be angry, I will be upset, I will be in my car for nearly 45 minutes. Like, no, it's a 15-minute drive. I don't need to triple that. So I left at like 2:30, right before school's ended. Perfect. And I got there and I did work and it was great. I took my laptop. Basically, I think I had just edited my podcast. And because you can just do that, you don't need internet, even though I had internet, and it was actually really fucking fire that day, to be honest. So, and then I uploaded all of them. It was great. I got loads of shit done. The issue with being at home is sometimes you've got the like distraction. You're like, ooh, I'll do a little bit of eating. Now I'll do a little bit of procrastinating. Especially when the dogs are there, I feel like I want to sit with them and like play with them and take them out for a walk, and I feel like I should be entertaining them, like they're my house guests or something. So, going back, leaving the house, right? When do you not need to leave the house? Okay, the other day I left the house. Bad idea. It was a bad idea because it was fucking, oh my God, it was bonfire night. It was the 5th of November. Thank you, Guy Fawkes, for that wonderful day. But it pissed it down. It was like tropical storm. Like, not even joking, tropical storm, right? I didn't eat before I went out. Bad move. The thing is, I don't feel hungry, but I often get the side effects of being hungry because I'm on this weight loss medication. I get the side effects, so I get the like fatigue and feeling like I'm going to die, but I don't feel hungry. So it's very confusing, but I've now picked up on, okay, my body needs to eat something because it's literally going to drop to the floor in a heap. And so I was like, oh God, we parked so far away. Like, I thought the traffic was going to be really bad. The thing is, no one else left home. That's what happened. We were the suckers. And I was like, yeah, let's go out for bonfire night. Didn't check the weather report. Digging my own grave here, aren't I, really? Didn't check the weather report, the weather forecast, and I parked really far away because I thought I should have just drove closer, seen if there was any parking. No, okay, drive out and then, but no, then we walked for, it must have been 45 minutes, like, which is fine if it's a lovely day, but no, it was torrentially pissing it down with rain. And when I say torrential, I mean like being in the shower. Like literally being in the shower for 45 minutes. Yes, I was wearing like my walking boots because I'm one of those now. A girl that goes out in her walking boots. And I had a coat on and I had an umbrella. That was fine. But then whenever you want to do anything and you're holding an umbrella, forget it. My shoelaces came undone twice. Ugh, no. They got double knotted after that, the cheeky little fucks. Couldn't handle it. So, don't leave the house when it's pissing it down with rain, torrential rain, even to see fireworks, because it wasn't a good time. It was honestly awful. I was so miserable. I was hungry. I was just irritated. I've never been so irritated. Anyway, we got an Uber back to the car because I was like, I cannot handle this. Like, honestly, it was so bad. So, also when you're sick, there we go, I'm giving you permission. You don't need to leave the house when you're sick unless you need to go to hospital or an appointment. And that's it. Or to get medicine. And that's it. And also when, or if somebody like dies or something. And also when you're hungover. Maybe when you're on your period too. But I would kind of classify that as being sick. Like, is it though? Being like in pain, you know, with period. There we go. Those are the only times you shouldn't leave the house. Certified. I'll write you a sick note if you want. I should not be leaving the house because it's too rainy. That's what Dawn says. I actually remembered to reset the camera that time so it didn't just die on me. Can I just take a second, please? Hi, just to say, if you haven't already, even though like most of you have, but thank you. If you haven't already, viewers and listeners, can you please subscribe or like the video? Just, you know, because it helps my channel, I guess. And I always leave it to the end, and then it's like, well, no one's listening, Dawn, so do it now. And I keep remembering. It's like, wow. And I guess I'm going to throw in a little cheeky, weird thought. I need an answer to this. Somebody please write it in the comments. I haven't Googled it, to be fair. I'm sure it's on Google because it's like, it honestly baffles me. Why is it that when you drive past lorries that are parked in the lorry side bit, whatever you call it, lay-by, they have their doors open, the back doors? I don't understand it. Why are they open? I need to know. Some of them aren't, though. And what does that mean? So if comment what you think the answer to that is, because there's no prize, but you will get a shout out from me. That's the prize. I need to know, please. It bugs me every time I drive on the motorway or an A road. Okay. You should take your medicines every day. Quick doctor note. Take your medicines. I haven't taken mine today, actually. I literally just remembered. That's kind of funny. That's kind of ironic. Did I say when we were talking about moisturising that you should wear SPF? Yes, I did, because then I said, unless you're not leaving the house. You don't need to wear SPF if you're literally not leaving the house. There we go. Or if you're leaving the house when it's dark. You don't need it. Oh, this is my good one. This is one that you should be doing. Should. It's not even a question. It's a statement. It's a fact. You should be doing this. Floss. Not the dance. You should be flossing in between your teeth every day, at least once, and that's it. You could do it twice, but I only do it once, because that's enough. Make your flossing routine part of your toothbrushing routine. You should be doing it before you brush your teeth. I always do it in the evening, because that's when you've had a whole day of food, and then you need to get the bits out. My teeth are so close together that I need to floss. If you have gaps, maybe you'll be okay, but most of us don't have massive gaps. You could get a toothbrush in between. So get the floss out. I actually use the little, I don't know what you call them, but they're like little bridges. And what I found is that you just reuse them. I was using one every day and throwing it away. And then I realised why. I just clean it and reuse it. Much better for the environment. So maybe that's gross, but I literally don't care. I actually don't care, because realistically it's to scrape the food out from between your teeth, isn't it? To stop plaque from building up and getting gingivitis. Is plaque the right word? It might be tartar, but I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean? The stuff that hangs around. Now, I get that it's not fully clean, but I'm all it's doing is being your toothbrush isn't fully clean. You use that every day, don't you? So anyway, that was an epiphany. Things you don't need to do every day. Guys, I do not brush my hair every day. Today I did. Surprise! It's a surprise for everyone. Today I did brush my hair. I don't know why. Oh, I know. Because I looked like shit. And I was doing 3 podcasts now. So I was my hair, the thing is, right, I put this conditioner in my hair, which makes it look fucking great. But because what happens is I then touch it a lot. And then it gets really greasy really quickly. So it just looked really greasy. So I brushed it and it looks better. There we go. End of story. You do not need to poo every day. Unless I do, personally. I think I do. Do I? Recently, my poo schedule has been all over the place. I've been really constipated, if you want to know that. I'm on the medication, the one that you inject for weight loss, and basically it makes me really fucking constipated. I have had a couple of laxatives, some Sennas. They're really out of date, so nothing's gone bad yet, but I had a big clear out yesterday. It was good. It was great. I think I have pooed today. Anyway, I poo once a day. Some people don't, and that's fine. People that I honestly, I know people's bowel habits, so you can trust me on that one. I ask almost everybody that I speak to. Wait there. Let me just point out that I am a doctor, so this is not weird. I'm not walking down the street excuse me, how many times do you poo every day? And it's a weird phrase. We say, how many times have you opened your bowels? But everybody knows what it means. I don't know how. How many times have you opened your bowels to the wind, to the toilet bowl? So everybody knows what it means. Anyway, I ask everybody, almost everybody, if it's relevant, They've come in with a bad finger. I'm not how many times have you pooed today? And so I know that a lot of people don't poo every day. Some people do. Some people pooing twice a day. Some people with problems, I would like to admit, are pooing 4+ times a day. But I would say most people is every day. But I've seen people not go for a lot longer, but I don't think that's okay. Once every 2 days, I would say, is pretty, you don't need to poo every day, but once every 2 days, cool, go for it. Drinking alcohol. Oh, It's not something you need to do, but I think it's something you definitely shouldn't be doing every day. That's, I feel like everyone thinks, oh, it's just a glass. No, please stop it. Please stop drinking every day. Obviously I speak to a lot of people as well about their alcohol habits. Unfortunately, some people do drink every day. I would argue actually that they're either alcoholics, which I'll let them off, or they are old people. And now I don't think a lot of old people are going to listen to my podcast and go, okay, Dawn, I'm going to stop drinking. Because a lot of old people are like, well, I kind of deserve it. Like, I've lived for 80 years and I'm going to do what I want, basically. So as long as you don't fit into the old person camp, maybe you're okay. Just, if you see yourself getting into the habit of drinking every day, please just reduce it. Twice a week, probably all right. Now, this one's controversial. Actually, let's go for this one and then we'll leave the controversial one to the end. Going on social media, you don't need to do it. Like, I don't feel like that one needs an explanation. Just, you don't. Move the apps. This is my advice. Move the apps. So on my home screen, I do not have a social media app. I have Shazam. You need that for quick access, right? Weather, photos, WhatsApp, David Lloyd app. I have Notion on there. I have the BNF, which I use quite a lot. It's basically the medicines prescribing thing. I have lots of shit that I don't actually use, which I should probably move. I have my finances on there. I have my medical one, which I use quite a lot. I have lifestyle, which has got Amazon in it. Do use that. And I have New York Times games. And I also have Locum's Nest, which is a way that I book my shifts for working. You literally have to scroll several pages across to get to the social medias. Technically, actually, the social medias I've put them here, if you can see. Now, if you can't, they're on the second page, top left. The issue is I'm not left-handed, so I have to get my second hand out, my left hand, and press it. And then I have to press it again to get into an app. If you make it harder for yourself, put it on the end page, you won't go on it that often. And if you are struggling to not go on it, you need to think, do I have an addiction? Probably. Most of us do have an addiction to something. I would say mine is maybe, I'm overcoming it, but probably sugar, and also probably Netflix or YouTube, like watching stuff. There we go. There are worse things to be addicted to, but there are also better things. The last thing on the list is shower. I argue, do you need to shower every day? Obviously, if you're exercising or if you have like a health condition, probably. But I mean, I've been for many trips, festivals, don't shower. Duke of Edinburgh Award, didn't shower. What else? Yesterday, didn't shower. Like, I didn't leave the house. I didn't do anything. Did I leave the house? I didn't do anything. Like, today I am going to, because, you know, I shower at least once every 2 days. Like, that's kind of the limit if I'm not, like, in the wilderness. But it's like, I don't think you need to shower every day. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I might have ruffled some feathers there, but I also might not have done and might be overreacting significantly. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, guys. That's the end of that one. I think I will be doing what you should be doing every week, probably, in the next episode. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Like I said, give it a like, subscribe, share with other people, and go check out my new Twitter, Backseat Positive, with no E. Love you, bye. Floaty kiss. This is not a cigarette, by the way, it's a lipstick. I mean, it's actually a lip balm, so I'm not smoking.